Tonight on Supersize versus Superskinny, the tables turn on two appalling diets in Dr. Christian's feeding clinic.
No wonder you're so big.
How could you, survive off coffee?
Our supersizer meets the biggest American Dr. Christian has ever discovered.
Hi, I'm Nikki Jane. I'm 29 years old. I weigh over 51 stones.
Recovered anorexic Emma Wolfe continues her investigation into eating disorders as she takes a look into inpatient care.
My biggest fear when I was sick with anorexia was being admitted into inpatient care. I don't know much about it. To this day, I haven't even seen inside an inpatient clinic.
And Dr. Christian is back in Vegas to find out why visitors are flocking for a fun-filled vacation of gambling and gastric surgery.
Vegas has seen a 200% rise in medical tourism in the last 5 years alone.
And meets a woman who's travelled 2,000 miles to have a gastric bypass, Vegas style.
It's a big day, you ready?
Anytime you are, let's go.
It's time for another very large helping of Supersize versus Superskinny.
Whoa!
Britain is sitting on an obesity time bomb. By 2050, the government predicts that 60% of men, 50% of women, and 25% of children will be obese. At the other end of the spectrum, a leading charity in the field estimates 1.6 million people are affected by an eating disorder. Dr. Christian is determined to address both sides of this massive problem in his feeding clinic, as he brings together 8 supersizers and 8 superskinnies.
I've brought together 16 people with some truly terrible eating habits. By pairing them up and getting them to swap diets in my feeding clinic, I'm hoping this is going to be just the tonic they need to turn their lives around. Okay, so Jackie, come on forward. So I've decided that I'm going to pair you with Beth.
I was dreading getting one of the really enormous ones.
Don't mind, how old are you?
I was 72 months ago.
Crikey. Actually, I'm quite shocked how skinny you are.
What sort of food do you eat?
Burgers, chips.
Oh, you're joking.
I hope I don't scare her too much with what I'm going to give her.
Jackie's diet consists of lots of high-fat junk food, whereas Beth can't even be bothered to cook a meal. So I'm hoping that by spending time together in the feeding clinic, they'll help each other on the road to recovery.
Weighing in at 22 stone, 34-year-old mother and housewife Jackie from Blackpool loves junk food, and lots of it. She consumes a colossal 3,000 calories a day, 1,000 more than she should be, and a big portion of that comes from her daily dose of takeaway chips.
All the foods I eat are chips, pizzas, burgers, kebabs, chocolate, sweets, chewy sweets, and the list goes on and on.
And the weight has piled on and on too.
Since my first child 17 years ago, I've put on probably a stone a year, if not more.
At 22 stone and aged only 34, this wife and mum has already been diagnosed with high blood pressure, and her size stops her from playing with her younger children, 8-year-old Sandra and 12-year-old Brett.
I wish my mum could do more bike activities on the prom, riding with us.
I'd love to be more active, so I can go out with the kids and stuff like that instead of walking down to the bottom of the street and dying because I can't breathe.
With her eating out of control, Jackie wants to do something before it's too late.
I think I'll be probably dead in a few years if I don't do something about the weight. My husband needs me, my kids need me, and if I wasn't here, my family would be lost.
At the opposite end of the scale and weighing in at just 6 stone 13 pounds, 70-year-old Gran and great-gran Beth from Corby lives off a dull diet with most meals involving egg or toast. Measly portions and skipping meals means she eats just 1,500 calories a day, 500 less than the recommended calorie intake for women.
The reason I don't eat so much is because I live by myself. I know it's silly, but I just, I can't be bothered.
So it's usually just
toast. A little piece of toast.
I might have a slice of toast for breakfast. I might have nothing. Lunch would only be like a scrambled egg and 2 bits of toast. I'm not very adventurous at all.
with her plain palate, lunches out with her friend Carol can be a challenge.
What is chorizo a la meal? What's that?
That's like a sausage. It's quite spicy. I think it's Italian.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we'll just stick to coffee.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Beth's basic diet has dwindled since she stopped working, and in just 2 years, she's dropped from a size 10 to a size 6.
Since she retired from work a couple of years ago, she has drastically lost weight, and obviously I don't want her to be this thin. She's got her grandchildren and got a great-grandchild. The family all know that she's very, very thin, and I think we're all agreed that she does need to put on some weight for her own health and her own safety.
I'm not going to survive unless I put a bit of meat on me, because I'll get ill or I'll fade away. I want to be able to, still lift the kids up and hug them and stuff.
With 15 stone between them, Supersize and Superskinny are battling diet demons at opposite ends of the scales. But before they enter the feeding clinic, Dr. Christian is flying Jackie to America to give her a taste of life should she carry on overeating. Dr. Christian's hoping this journey will jolt Jackie into dumping her junk food diet.
I'm really looking forward to trying one of their massive big burgers. Just because they're huge.
It's no laughing matter, as Dr. Christian is determined Jackie take her weight and her health seriously. And in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, is the woman he hopes will shock Jackie into changing her ways. The heaviest American supersizer Dr. Christian has ever discovered.
Hi, I'm Nikki James. I'm 29 years old, live in America, and I weigh over 51 stones.
Nikki weighs 1/3 of a ton. But unlike Jackie, who wants to lose weight, Nikki wants to get bigger.
I'm a person who enjoys the growth of her body.
Nikki practices feederism, an emerging trend of people eating to get as big as they can, with no regard for the effects on their health.
I always think of feederism as being art because I always wonder where this piece is gonna go. Is it gonna go to my hips? Is it gonna go to my belly? Is it gonna go to my butt? Is it gonna go to my legs? Is it gonna go to my face? Is it gonna be noticeable?
Jackie has no idea she's about to meet a woman who loves the effect overeating has on her size.
Food makes me feel good. It is so satisfying. It could be better than sex sometimes.
But with all that pleasure comes pain.
Ooh.
Aged just 29, Nikki can hardly walk and is trapped in her own home. Dr. Christian is hoping that Jackie will be shocked by Nikki's lack of mobility and realise that although she isn't a feedie, her current rate of weight gain could result in her getting as big as Nikki.
Nikki definitely revels in her size. She relishes it. What Nikki's doing to herself is basically a sort of form of self-harm. I'm hoping that Jackie's going to be so shocked by Nikki's, quite frankly, appalling attitude towards diet, food, weight, and her health in general, that this is going to really shock Jackie into taking her own weight much more seriously.
I am expecting to meet someone probably a lot bigger than me. Usually out here they are a lot bigger, so it's going to be really scary.
Fine, you must be Jackie.
I am, yes.
I'm Nikki.
Hiya. I thought, I was big, and then I seen her and I thought, well, I'm quite small.
Are you trying to lose weight?
I'm definitely trying to lose weight, yeah.
So how do you feel about my size?
I'm quite shocked at how big you are, to be honest. And I know if I carry on the way I am, I could end up exactly the same, so...
What do you mean?
Eating what I do, not doing anything.
Exactly the same, though?
Absolutely, massive. I don't mean that nastily, but you are huge.
For dinner, Nikki's making Jackie that all-American burger she's been desperate to try.
I cannot wait.
But cooking is no easy task when you're 51 stone 6 pounds.
What shocked me most about Nikki was the size of her legs and like how she couldn't get up and walk, and it's like, no way, it's unbelievable.
Lord, thank you for this food we're about to receive. Let it help our bodies and not harm it. Amen.
Amen.
I made a nice, juicy American burger. It was good, too. I think she enjoyed it.
But Nikki's all-American burger and her lifestyle are hard for Jackie to swallow.
I think today's really brought it home that if I carry on the way I am, I could end up Nikki's size without even realising that it's happened until it's too late.
Coming up,
let's go.
Jackie witnesses what the future holds.
Whoa, shit.
If she can't get her junk food addiction under control. The tables turn in the feeding clinic as Supersize and Superskinny swap their dreadful diets.
I love eating chips.
I like chips, but that's like 4 portions on one plate.
And Dr. Christian confronts Jackie about her terrible diet with the ultimate fat burger.
It's kind of horrific to think that this is what you've been shoveling down.
In Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 51 stone Nikki James is playing host to 22 stone Jackie. Dr. Christian's hoping that Nikki's size and her struggle to do the most basic tasks will shock Jackie into changing her fat-fueled diet.
Let's go.
Nikki's taking Jackie to lunch, but she can't walk from her house to the car, so she relies on a friend to push her in an extra-wide wheelchair.
Ready, set, got him on?
At 51 stone, even getting into a car is an almighty task.
Whoa, shit.
It's like a complete shock of, you know, how she lives and copes with doing just everyday normal things. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm scooting in the middle because we 2 big girls and distribution the weight.
Watching Nikki's difficulty getting round, Jackie's finding it hard to believe Nikki wants to get bigger.
I know you said you're happy and everything with your size, but would you like to change and have the skinny life?
I would prefer to be the way I am.
Yeah.
As the girls tuck into lunch, they're joined by a surprise guest.
All right.
Hiya.
Jackie, you good?
I'm good, yes, thank you.
All right, nice to see you.
And you?
Nikki, I'm Christian.
Oh, hey.
So, Nikki, how is your health? What are the doctors saying to you?
I have sleep apnea. I do have swellage in my legs.
They swell up. Joints, aches and pains, back, knees?
Yeah.
Sore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My back hurts from time to time. Blood pressure,
Blood
great.
sugar okay?
That's great.
No chest pains?
No.
Let me ask you this. At what point, if things do start to go wrong with your health, if the diabetes does kick in or the heart pains come, will that make you stop with the weight gain?
It will slow it down.
So
it would.
Okay. So you'll kind of keep going as long as you can in that respect?
Yeah, probably, honestly.
She is totally out of control and she is deluding herself, intentionally force-feeding herself like that. I found meeting Nikki today so frustrating. She says she likes it how she is, and she also says that she'll be able to rein it in when and if the doctors tell her to. Well, the doctors will tell her to quite soon. I don't believe that she'll be able to rein it in before it's too late.
But it's not too late for Jackie. And with the meal over, Dr. Christian is keen to hear if she's witnessed enough to make a change.
What influence do you think Nikki will have on you now, going forward?
I think the picture of her size is going to stick in my head forever.
You could argue that what you have been doing to yourself over the last however many years is not dissimilar.
No, if I carry on eating it, I'm just going to look like her.
Nikki's been doing it consciously. You have been doing it unconsciously.
I can do something about it now before it does get any worse.
Absolutely. Easily. I really hope that Jackie has got it in her to lose the weight. It really all boils down to one question, and that is how much does she like and respect herself and want to change things for the better?
Jackie's time in America and with Nikki is over.
I've just come to say thank you for everything. It's been lovely to meet you. There's no way I'm ever getting that size. Thank you. It was lovely meeting you. My future's going to be so much more lighter. I never want to get as big as Nikki.
Back in the UK, the time has come for Jackie and Beth to check into the feeding clinic. For the next 2 days, Dr. Christian will be turning the tables on Supersize and Superskinny's terrible diets. It's an intense 48-hour meal swap that will bring them face to face with their food demons. But before Super Skinny Beth gets fed up on Supersize's diet, it's time for her consultation with Dr. Christian. He has her food diary and it's a shocking read. 70-year-old Beth is 5'3" and weighs just 6 stone 13 pounds. Her repetitive poultry diet means she consumes just 1,500 calories a day, putting her at risk of bone fractures, heart disease and infection.
Your diet is just spectacularly dull.
I know.
I got bored reading your food diary because it was all the same sort of stuff all the time, isn't it?
My food's very plain.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad you said that because I was going to sound mean. As you get older, there is a massive temptation to just let everything go because it's all too much effort and too much work. And the diet just drops down to the bare minimum.
I know you can't stop getting old, but I don't want to just be sitting there with a cup of tea and a biscuit and that's all I have.
And that's sort of what you're doing, isn't it?
That's the way I'm going.
So, if you really throw yourself into the diet swap and you really try as hard as you can to eat as much as you can, by the end of your time here, you will actually start feeling hungry.
Okay.
Do you think you can manage that?
Yeah, I'll really try.
Good. Beth, lovely to see you. All right, best of luck with it. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Whilst Super Skinny Beth can't be bothered to eat, Supersize junk lover Jackie does nothing but. 5'4" and 22 stone, Jackie's a staggering 11 stone 9 pounds overweight. Every day, she's eating 3,000 calories, 1,000 more than recommended for the average woman. They're nearly all from junk food, and she's at risk of stroke, heart disease and diabetes.
Your diet is terrible, terrible, terrible. Oh my God, where do we start? I mean, it's just sort of fast food, junky food, none of which is doing any good for your health. You're getting through, what, let's see, I mean, 3,000 plus calories a day, all right? That's just short of a weight gain equivalent of about a pound of fat a week. Did you realise that?
I didn't realise that, no.
To lose a pound a week via exercising, you're going to need to walk about 15 miles. Doing it via exercise, and exercise is important, but it's hard. Yeah. Doing it just by cutting down is actually so much easier.
I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to change.
All right, Jackie?
Yep.
Good. Lovely to see you. Okay, best of luck. Bye-bye. Bye.
It's time to turn the tables on Supersize and Super Skinny's dire diets. Face-to-face breakfast. And it's Jackie's 3 large scones smothered in sugary jam with full-fat butter and cup of tea versus Beth's solitary crumpet topped with a smear of butter.
So, what do you think?
It looks a bit lonely on the plate.
Butter's melted.
I know, yeah. Hello, one crumpet that I don't think touched the sides as it went in.
Food bore Beth is used to plain food and often skips breakfast completely.
Have you ever had anything that big for breakfast before now?
No way, like 3. 3 big cakes.
I know, you've got to eat it all up.
Not 3.
Beth doesn't even manage one of Jackie's supersized sweet scones.
Just too much.
But if Beth thought breakfast was big, it's only a few hours later she finds it's nothing next to Jackie's gigantic lunch. Beth swaps a lonely latte.
How could you, survive off coffee?
For Jackie's 2 beef burger toasties, stuffed with quarter pounders, melted cheese and tomato sauce, plus a big bag of crisps.
I wouldn't even have 2 burgers for dinner, like on their own. I'd only have 1.
Oh no, I'd have him, if I was having him for my dinner, I'd have him in buns with cheese and then probably beans and something else, probably chips or something with them as well.
Beth manages just a few mouthfuls and she's apprehensive.
If that's her lunch, I'm dreading the dinner because the plate will be massive.
Beth is spot on because dinner is extra, extra, extra large.
When I first walked up to that table, I expected takeaway food, but I didn't expect like 4 people's takeaway food in one go.
I love eating chips.
I like chips, but that's like 4 portions on one plate, plus all that as well. How can one person possibly eat all that? I'm not being funny, but like, no wonder you're so big. If this is what you eat every day. I don't even know where to start. Like, which plate? One meal.
To ram home how harmful her junk-filled diet is, Dr. Christian decided to show Jackie exactly what's in her fatty diet and how it's destroying her health with the Dr. Christian Ultimate Fat Burger.
Come and join me. Big enough for you?
That's a big burger.
That is a big burger.
Dr. Christian is going to show Jackie just how much fat she gets through in a year.
This is going to represent saturated fat, and I want you to guess how much saturated fat you get through in a year.
Saturated fat is found in foods like butter, cakes, fatty meats, cheese and cream.
Like a 5.
Oh, Jackie, come on. Now this is starting to look a little bit more like what you get through in a year.
For women, the guided daily allowance of saturated fat is 20 grams, but Jackie's eating 3 times that every day, consuming a shocking 22 kilos of saturated fat a year.
Don't wrinkle your nose up, you like this.
Yeah, but not in that form. It's not too bad in the food.
This is exactly what is in the food.
That's minky.
Fat is the reason you crave this sort of food. Fat contains flavour. It's delicious. We love fatty foods, but it's something that also will be killing you, so we have to deal with it. The other reason why you crave these sorts of foods is one very other important ingredient. Shake it on your chips. Salt.
Jackie's eating nearly 9 grams of salt every day, almost 3 grams more than the recommended amount. She already has high blood pressure, raising her risk of stroke or heart attack.
Salt puts up blood pressure.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, so it really won't be helping, all right? Final thing. Let's give that a good old squishing down on there, shall we?
Like, that fat is what I've been eating, and I don't even know it's there. My children are eating the same kind of fatty food, so to think I'm doing that to them as well, now it's like horrible thought.
But Dr. Christian hasn't finished yet.
So these are deposits of cholesterol, and the reason I'm talking to you about this is because your diet, with its super high fat content, high saturated content, general overall junkiness, plus a load of salt thrown in, is almost certainly going to lead to high cholesterol.
The last thing I want's them.
Medically, those on themselves aren't going to cause you any problems, but you know that having very high cholesterol levels can lead to strokes and you can develop heart attacks. If you can reduce the amounts of fats in your diet and start doing some exercise, it'll help make sure that diseases like that won't happen. It's worth it, really, isn't it, in the long run?
Yeah. It's like complete shock. It's, you know, that's it now. I'm not eating anything that's fatty ever again.
Next, Jackie gets fed up with Beth's deadly boring diet.
I've got to sort of shake her and say, eat more food instead of toast.
Dr. Christian's in Sin City, finding out more about the thousands of medical tourists travelling to Vegas for weight loss surgery.
So we offer them the expertise, we offer them savings, and of course we offer them Las Vegas.
And journalist and recovered anorexic Emma Wolfe investigates what happens when an eating disorder gets so severe, inpatient care is needed.
This is a couple of days after I was admitted. Stayed up till gone 12 with staff, talking about guilty feelings.
Even at midnight they were there for you?
Oh, all day, all night.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, Sin City. Last year, 39 million tourists were attracted by the bright lights and fast living. But there's new attraction on the block. Visitors are flocking not only for gaming and gambling, but also for weight loss procedures, combining surgery with a fun-filled vacation in Vegas.
Most medical tourists travel to Las Vegas for a surgical procedure because it's cheaper, more readily available, or has better facilities than back at home. In fact, Vegas has seen a 200% rise in medical tourism in the last 5 years alone.
Flying into Vegas is Robin McDonald. She's travelled almost 2,000 miles to have a faulty lap band removed and replaced with a gastric bypass.
Coming to Vegas was always kind of fun in the past. So, yeah, to me, this is definitely an adventure.
So, Robin, tell me, why Vegas? Why did you pick Vegas to have your procedure?
Well, I live in Jackson, Michigan, and they have a couple of different bariatric surgery facilities, but it can take as much as a year to a year and a half to get the surgery.
Okay.
I was 16.
Robin's been morbidly obese for the last 15 years, but it wasn't always this way.
Oh, cool. Look at you.
I was 25 and weighed 125 pounds.
Those legs.
I know.
Gone forever.
Serious back injuries in her late 20s meant Robin piled on weight.
I stopped doing all the things I used to do. I used to horseback ride, bike ride, and slowly, as the years went by, I did less and less and less, and gained more and more and more, to the point where I have no quality of life.
Yeah.
I seriously only leave my apartment to go to the doctor's and the grocery store and the bank. No, I don't do anything else.
Because of pain?
Because of pain.
So the lap band was 3 years ago.
Yes.
And where did you have that done?
Mexico, Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh, so you like to travel for your procedures? For the same sort of reasons, or what?
Pretty much.
And so you've chosen Vegas. Are you going to sort of have any fun holiday time here, or is it all about medical
This is
stuff?
all about medical, but I don't mind having fun.
Oh, really? If it comes your way?
If it comes
you won't say no?
I'm fine.
Robin's operation is being performed by Dr. Umbach.
It's a big day. You ready?
Anytime you are, let's go.
He and his team carry out 24 bariatric surgeries a week at the North Vista Hospital.
50% of our patients come from elsewhere, all over the country, and other countries as well. Unfortunately, everyone doesn't have access to a highly experienced bariatric surgeon at every location in the country.
Yeah.
We've been doing bariatric surgery for almost 15 years now. So we offer them the expertise, we offer them savings, and of course we offer them Las Vegas.
Robin's procedure is done by keyhole surgery and will take 2 hours.
All that yellow, cheesy-looking substance in there is fat, and it's abdominal fat, visceral fat that surrounds the organs that we now know causes problems like raised cholesterol, problems with insulin secretion, blood sugars, and all the various problems that we see associated with obesity.
This band is often buried. This scar and tissue around it is quite profound, and so that's pretty common that we have to unbury it.
Once the band is removed, Dr. Umbach gets to work on the bypass. The bypass separates off a small pouch of the stomach, radically reducing the amount of food that can be consumed.
Instead of having a stomach about this size, now has a stomach about this size, and this is going to dramatically change the way she can eat for the rest of her life.
After successful surgery, Robin is discharged from hospital, and 4 days later, she is on her way back to the airport to fly home.
I'm feeling great. I mean, there's some soreness, but that's to be expected. It was major surgery. But overall, I'm feeling great. Let's see how fast the pounds go off, and then start thinking about buying new clothes.
Robin's procedure was clearly necessary, but I do worry about the staggering rise in medical tourism. My main concern is that medical tourism makes it seem all a bit like a jolly holiday and not the massive commitment that surgery really is.
Back at the feeding clinic, Supersize Jackie is cooking a bumper-sized breakfast for Superskinny Beth. She's swapping 2 slices of thick buttery white toast, a supersized serving of scrambled eggs.
Yes, I like scrambled egg.
2 rashers of fried bacon, a whole tin of baked beans and mug of tea. For Beth's favourite, a single slice of plain toast.
The only thing I've seen is like toast, toast and more toast. So all she seems to kind of eat is bread.
So, sorry you're not going to be eating much again today.
It's okay. I think eating smaller portions will probably do me some good. Not sort of shake her and say, eat more food instead of toast.
Jackie won't need to go that far. Beth's starting to rethink her diet on her own.
What do you think then? Maybe if I tried something different, I'd put on weight?
Definitely. I think if you maybe had a bit of veg with, you know, with tea or something other than scrambled eggs on toast.
Until you actually see in front of you what you eat all day, you don't really think about it. But now it's making me think, well, I have to eat more than that, like that's stupid.
So for the first time in the swap, Beth tucks in.
Her breakfast was more colourful and nicer than mine. It was just how much the size of what she eats was too much for me. The actual breakfast was nice. It's me done. I think I've done a pretty good job, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Now, to keep up the good work in the feeding clinic, Dr. Christian wants them to think about why they want and need to change. For Beth, it's memories of her grandmother that are making her think about her size and her own grandchildren.
This is my Granny Edwards, and she'd always be sitting, little skinny arms, scrawny neck. So you'd never get hugs of her. And so when I was thinking how skinny I was, I went, maybe my grandchildren will see me like that.
Oh, crikey.
This was my last day at work 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to have a routine then. I'd go to work, I'd have my time for breakfast, my time for lunch, and come home, and then I would always cook a dinner.
Yeah.
But since I've left work, I don't have.
You don't have your routine.
I don't have a routine. I think that's what I need to get again. Otherwise, I'm going to end up skinny as my granny.
And you don't want that.
No,
so,
I do not want that.
Yeah.
Jackie's had a letter from her husband and children. Being 22 stone, Jackie struggles to play with her kids and gets out of breath just walking to the end of the road.
Just a little letter to say how proud and pleased we are for you choosing a healthier lifestyle and enjoy the adventure ahead. I have a fear of you slipping away from the children and me through illness and health, so it's time to change. Time to eat healthier and think healthier and kick the weight. Love you always, Ian, Brett and Sandra.
Your husband said he's scared about your health and...
It's time, to hopefully try and lose some weight, so I am there to see the kids grow up. Time to do it for me and for them, so...
That's nice.
Yeah.
For Jackie and Beth, it's hit home how important a healthy diet is for their futures. But they still have one final meal to swap, a reminder of the old habits they should be abandoning. Jackie's 2 breaded chicken steaks, 3 chicken dippers, double helping of beans, mountain of mash, a bar and block of chocolate, plus 2 large glasses of fizzy orange and cup of tea versus Beth's glass of water, fried egg and 6 chips.
Well, at least I've got some food this time. It looks better than toast.
Yes.
And it's got some colour in it.
Jackie's pleased, but Beth has had a belly full of Jackie's junk.
It's not proper potato. It's like powder or instant mash or something. Is that what you'd eat?
Yeah.
It takes you 20 minutes to cook a pot of potatoes.
I know. Now I've got to go home and actually, experience doing it.
So you're really going to try and do it for your family?
Yeah.
Okay, so being here and seeing how hungry you must have been, it's made me realise I do have to eat more.
Yeah.
So we're both determined to do it, right?
Yes, definitely.
It's fighting talk at the table. And to help Supersize and Superskinny achieve their weight goals, Dr. Christian's got their diet plans and some final advice.
Jackie, this one's yours. I think really what I want to say to you, most importantly, is if you don't buy the naughty things, you can't eat the naughty things. Beth, this one is yours. And I think with you, the most important thing I want to say is keep it interesting. No more of that dull old diet. Lots of colour, lots of variety, lots of flavour. If your food's getting samey and boring, the alarm bells should be ringing because you're sinking into that old lady way of eating that you do not want to be eating like. All right?
All right, thank you.
That's it. It's that easy. Best of luck to both.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's goodbye boring and bland and hello variety and colour as Beth's diet increases to 2,000 calories a day, 500 more than she's used to. Eating from all food groups plus regular snacking should see Beth gradually gain weight. Jackie's diet plan will reduce her daily calories by 1/3 to 2,000 a day, the recommended daily amount for women. Her fatty fast food habit will be replaced with home cooking, low-fat foods, and her daily walk to the chippy will be swapped for other moderate exercise. Jackie and Beth's time in the feeding clinic is up.
I can't wait now to go home with my new healthy plan and start eating healthy and enjoy starting to cook with the kids and, you know, do things with them. Start a complete new life.
Swapping diets with Jackie has made me see how little I eat. I really need to get that sorted, and when I come back from my weigh-in, I'm going to be curvier and fatter.
Jackie and Beth will return to the feeding clinic in 9 weeks to show Dr. Christian if they've turned their bad habits around. Emma Wolfe is an author, journalist and a recovered anorexic who is investigating the complex and often upsetting world of eating disorders. Tonight, Emma's investigation focuses on inpatient care.
My biggest fear when I was sick with anorexia was being admitted into inpatient care. I didn't want to be in a hospital and I didn't want to be with other sick people. But I don't know much about it. To this day, I haven't even seen inside an inpatient clinic. So I think it's time to find out more.
Inpatient care can be provided by hospital, psychiatric or private treatment. The UK sees approximately 2,000 admissions each year, yet 9% of emergency mental health beds were axed last year. A worrying trend, especially since eating disorders are on the rise. Emma has access to an inpatient care clinic in Norwich, dedicated solely to the treatment of eating disorders.
So here we are, Newmarket House. First impressions aren't bad. I have to admit I was expecting something a bit more clinical, and it looks quite homely and quite green as well.
Inpatient care offers individual, group and family therapy, as well as medical assessments and nutritional rehabilitation. Penny Bailey set up the clinic 18 years ago.
What's the criteria to be admitted into an inpatient clinic?
People who come to us are really, really struggling and very vulnerable. There's a huge range of eating disorders, and there are a lot of people who can be treated in the community. We're just seeing the really sharp end, actually. It's people here who simply cannot manage at home, and it is a very, very dangerous illness.
What kinds of therapy and what kinds of activities are they doing?
Well, when they first arrive, they're usually very vulnerable, and so the most important thing initially is weight restoration. And that has to be done very, very carefully and very gently. They need someone to sit with them so that they don't exercise after meals, they don't go rushing to the loo, and to comfort them, to persuade them that they don't need to feel guilty, because they feel terrible guilt when they eat.
It must be very expensive to provide such a specialised care.
Almost all our patients are NHS funded and they come from a wide area. It's much more cost effective having someone here than it is on a general hospital ward. Our aim is for them to recover, to be able to manage their lives once they're discharged from here.
So it's very intensive, isn't it, the amount of care that each person needs?
Emma Bird was a patient at the clinic 12 years ago, aged 21. She was admitted for 3 months, and following her treatment, she made a strong recovery from anorexia.
How ill were you when you first arrived here?
I was experiencing heart palpitations, chest pain, physical pain, almost hallucinations. I didn't really know what reality was. I know for me, when I first came in here, being 6'2", I had a problem with the bed because I was incredibly thin and in a lot of pain when I laid down. I couldn't sleep properly because I was so curled up in the bed because the bed was short, so they ordered me a bed.
Oh.
And you might think, well, what relevance does that have? But I became a person. I became somebody that was worthy of them saying, we better adapt things for Emma.
That's amazing.
Because she's worth it. I do feel I am completely divorced from the relationship I had with the best friend, which was anorexia. And that's why I'm now able to support other people.
Emma, who now works at the clinic and helps others, returns to the bedroom where she recovered.
So how does it feel like now, being back in this room?
It's a really special feeling, because I know this is the beginning of my journey. This was where it all began.
Emma recounts her time at the clinic from the diary she wrote during her stay.
This is a couple of days after I was admitted. Very scared last night that positive thoughts were wrong. Stayed up till gone 12 with staff, talking about guilty feelings.
Even at midnight they were there for you?
Oh, all day, all night.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So somebody just to hold my hand and say, you know, tomorrow's a new day. There's not a price for that.
Coming here today has really changed my views of what it involves to be looked after in a clinic. I have to say, I'd always dreaded the idea of inpatient clinics, but it's made me see what a kind of warm environment it can be. A really safe place to start that new chapter.
If you or someone in your family is affected by an eating disorder and want information, go to channel4.com/supersize. Coming up, Beth and Jackie return to the feeding clinic after 9 weeks on their diet plans. But will the scales have moved in the right direction?
You haven't done a stone.
Okay, is that good or bad?
It's been 9 weeks since junk food lover Jackie and food ball Beth left the feeding clinic. Now they're back, but have they followed Dr. Christian's advice and ditched their disastrous diets?
Do feel better. So today I'm hoping to see the scales go up a little bit. If I haven't put on any weight, I will feel really bad and disappointed.
The feeding clinic is like a kick up the backside that I needed to sort of show me which way to go. I know I've lost some weight, I just don't know how much.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look very good. So tell me all about the new you.
Everything's changed totally.
Good.
No junk food.
Whoa, come on. I don't believe you. No junk food.
Nothing at all. I've had no beef burgers at all.
So what are you eating now?
Every meal now has different colours on it. It's, you know, all colourful with veg and stuff like that.
And are you cooking all this?
Yeah, I cook it every night, cook it fresh.
It does require more effort and more time and more planning. Was it easier than you thought?
It's very easy, yeah.
Wow, I'm so impressed.
Yep.
So Beth, how have things been? What changes have you made since I last saw you?
I've got into a proper routine. I have breakfast, lunch and dinner, snacks.
And have you noticed then your appetite is returning and you are starting to feel
Yeah, I
hungry?
do feel hungry now, whereas before didn't make any difference to me.
That means your metabolism has woken up, everything's working, you're fueling away your body. And tell me about them variety, because your diet was quite limited, wasn't it? And a little bit bland.
It's changed. I have tried new foods. I've tried some stir fries with chicken.
This is all good.
I like to eat now. Before I only ate because I had to.
That is music to my ears. Everything on my list that I wanted you to do, by the sound of it, you have done, so I'm delighted.
Thank you.
It's time Jackie and Beth were reunited.
Hiya. You look amazing.
So do you.
I can see you've put on some. Your cheeks look a bit more
Really?
puffier, yeah, than when I last seen you.
Ladies, I wonder if you can help me. I'm looking for Beth and Jackie. Have you seen them anywhere? Because it ain't you two, by the look of it, is it?
We haven't.
How are you doing? Nice to see each other again?
Yes.
It is. It's lovely to see her. She looks great.
I think you both look very, very different.
Yeah.
Beth, I'm going to crack straight in with you, all right? I'm going to be brutally honest with you now, Beth. I was worried about you. And I didn't have massively high hopes for a number of reasons. First of all, you were stuck in such a deep rut of bad habits. Secondly, you're a little bit older than a lot of my other super skinnies. And again, with age comes a certain degree of stubbornness. But actually, you have put on weight. You've put on 4.5 pounds.
Really?
Wow.
Really? So you are careering towards nearly half a stone already. That's fantastic. I'll tell you a little secret. You've put on ½ an inch on your boobs. Yeah, so there we go. Are you pleased with that?
Yes, I think it's great.
I was not expecting that, to be honest. Jackie, What about you, though? What would you like in an ideal world?
I'm hoping for at least a stone.
Well, I can tell you a stone... you haven't done a stone.
Okay, is that good or bad?
It's good. You've done a lot more than a stone. You've done 1 stone at £10.
Wow.
You get on to 2 stone.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Huge.
Yeah.
And it gets better. 4 inches have gone from around your tummy.
Cracking.
6 inches from off your thighs.
Wow.
That's a lot of inches.
Isn't it?
Oh, take it from me, that's a lot of inches. Are you pleased with that?
Definitely, yeah.
I'm really proud of you both. Well done.
Thank you. It's amazing. I can't believe I've lost nearly 2 stone and I've lost it off my waist and my thighs as well. It's, unbelievable to have lost so much.
I can't believe that I've done 4.5 pounds. 8.5 an inch on my boobs. Like, what more could you ask for?
Knowing that I've lost, it's more motivation now to, carry on. I think I'm going to run home.
Next week on Supersize versus Superskinny, large helpings of tension as Queen of the Large Portions swaps diets with a super skinny tea addict biker.
It tastes horrible.
It's water.
In Vegas, Dr. Christian discovers the latest bizarre advances for people who've had weight loss surgery.
In fact, you see the staples from her original surgery right there.
Yeah.
And Emma Wolf continues her investigation into eating disorders, meeting Valeria Levitin, possibly the world's thinnest woman.
I didn't think that anything was wrong until it was too late.
That's in 2 weeks' time, because all next week at 8, we'll have 12 celebrities trying very, very hard not to get hurt while attempting some of the most dangerous winter sports around. The jump begins on Sunday. Next tonight, though, it's the Undateables.